Okay, very quickly here. Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 8, Episode 5. Back on the boat. We were wondering what the hell really was going on, and we got to actually see the actual fight between Cynthia and Portia. So, what has actually ended up happening is that they had the little argument going back and forth about you called me a bitch and this, that, thing, and the other, and on and on and on. Y'all always call each other bitches. It is what it is. Um, Cynthia really did take it out of context because Cynthia just had some issues, and Portia was showing off a little bit. I think she was hyping up for her girlfriend a little bit, and it really got out of control. It just got out of hand, and that damn Portia took her ass over there to Cynthia, and she's like, she never went to apologize. She went to finish arguing. That's what the fuck she did. She went over there to finish arguing and trying to make her point and all of that. And she was talking to Cynthia like she was ridiculous. Cynthia's talking back to her like she's ridiculous. And they're going on and on. And then they're putting their fingers in each other's face, and that's where it went ugly. And because Cynthia told her, "Don't put your fucking hand in my face, bitch." She moved her hand, and when she did that, Portia really got aggressive and ended up kind of standing over top of Cynthia. And I didn't have a problem with what Cynthia did, because Cynthia gave her and kicked that bitch. She kicked her box out of place, and kicked her in the stomach, kicked her on her poosh, and it was like, okay, she gave her puffy pushy, and I don't blame Cynthia. Bitch, you're not going to stand over top of me with that foolishness. So she kicked her basically up off of her. And it was funny because that's not Cynthia's character. And I think Cynthia looked like she was shocked. Like, did I really hit her? Yeah, bitch, you really hit her. Kicked her and got her up off of her. And then the production, they like tackled Portia and had her all stretched out, and it was just a big mess. They really made more out of it than they really had to. Whoever that was literally laying on top of Portia. That's how she got all fucked up, because they were laying all on top of her, carrying her. She was screaming and hollering and acting stupid like she did when she pulled Kenya by the hair and kicking her feet, and I'm gonna fuck her up, and this, that, thing, and the other, and yeah, just ridiculous. They're just ridiculous. And then she started saying other stuff like, I could ruin her. I know stuff about Peter and all that. That wasn't friendly. That wasn't friendly. I said, I don't know how they gonna get back from all that, but whatever. It was a mess. Then you had other people trying to, do their thing. Candy wants to get in the midst of it. Sit your fat, pregnant ass down somewhere. Sit down and shut up. Sit down and shut up. That Tammy was hiding below deck. They ain't seen her during the fight. Shamia's over there crying. Then Kim Fields starts crying. That was all a mess. I'm gonna need Kim Fields to go the fuck on somewhere. And she need to go ahead with that platinum afro in her confessionals. That is a fucking mess. It's giving me X-Men Storm tease. She fucks around. She looked like she was fucking with the weather with that dumbass hair. It is horrible. And nobody is that innocent. And we actually seen some of that later on that same episode, because we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Anyway, so that's basically how they did it. That Tammy is weird, but they put Shamia and Portia off the boat. Kenya was happy with that. She put them off the boat, went on. Um, Kenya goes and sees her Aunt Lori. And her Aunt Lori is really the only lady that you ever actually see on the show. But she told her, you need to pull all the girls back together and try to clear everything up. So Kenya decides to throw a brunch. So she wants to have a brunch with everybody and bring everybody together. And shit, the one thing that I thought was funny on the boat, that goddamn Sheree. Sheree walked around and kikied and laughed basically the whole time. She laughed at them. She just laughed at them like, because they're all ridiculous. And she's like, I'm collecting a check and look at these clowns. And she's laughing at them. But anyway, so they got all that together. Everybody's going to be coming to this lunch. But then Kenya sets up, she wants to have lunch separately beforehand with Portia to make sure Portia's not going to come and kick Cynthia's ass. Cynthia wanted to talk to Peter. She talks to Peter, beforehand, tells Peter to come home. Peter came home, and then the two of them start arguing because Peter was like, you hurt her, you kicked her, you hurt her, and she started like yelling at Peter, don't say that I hurt her, and Peter's like, well, we not gonna argue about you and Portia, because he knows that the shit that she did, the anger, that all was directed toward him, but Portia just caught it and got kicked in her disco box, honey. So it was what it was. But her and Peter said they're gonna do all right. They're gonna try to get everything together because it's got her all up out of her character, and then this shit just ain't working. So in the meantime, between time, before we go to the little thing, they have like scenes where everybody's telling their version of the story. You got Candy over here telling her version. You got Phaedra talking to who was she talking to? Phaedra met up with Kim, and they're talking about it because Phaedra wasn't there, and Phaedra was like, "Oh yeah, I heard this and I heard that." Just a hot mess. It's just a mess. A hot mess. Everybody telling different sides of the story. Basically, Candy is telling Don Juan and Carmen. Don Juan is just an evil goddamn fag. And he's like, why are you with these people anyway? And this, that, thing, and the other. I said, Don Juan, shut up. You just mad because you wasn't invited, bitch. Hush. But, yeah. It's ridiculous. Then we see Phaedra, and I have to say this. Phaedra went to pick up her kids, and then she's making snow cones with the kids. And she's going on, and she keeps on making this plea about the kids are sad because their dad is not there. Shut up, kids. They are little kids. Little kids are resilient. They probably don't even think about Apollo from day to day, okay? They ain't seen this motherfucker in months and months and months. Child, in a little bit longer, they're going to forget what he even looks like, unless you got pictures hanging up. Stop it. Stop it. Nobody feels sorry. Fuck it. It's over. It is what it is. But I'm like, you need to stop going down to the school with your titties hanging out like that. That's what you do need to do. And I don't know what's going on with these clothes, the fit of her clothes lately, like her regular clothes. Like when she went to the lunches, she looked real cute. But just her regular clothes, she didn't look nice in that blue jean shit. I didn't like that. The titties hanging out. Why is your titties hanging out? To go down to the schoolhouse. I just didn't get that. But anyway. And the other thing, Phaedra's motherfucking baby is bad as shit. He bad the motherfucker. Not Mr. President. What is he? Is he Mr. President? Yeah, the other one was the Prince or something. That baby boy, that motherfucker bad. He was all in the oven and shit. I said, oh, he act like Toya's kids. You put them two together, put Toya from Married to Medicine, her two kids, and Phaedra's two kids together, they could finish tearing down the rest of Kenya's house so she could start her motherfucking remodeling. Because there was some bad motherfuckers right there. And it ain't so much that oldest one of Phaedra. That Aiden ain't too bad. He just got a smart ass mouth. But that baby's fucking bad. Anyway, moving on. If I was Portia, I would not have gone to lunch with Kenya. But she went to the lunch with Kenya. Kenya was being very condescending and shady to Portia. Kept trying to, and Kenya keeps pulling back to that whole thing of when her and Portia got into it. And she basically was trying to push the blame on the Portia. But Portia was not, they were both to blame for the situation. They were both to blame. And Kenya was trying to do all that. And Portia was like, bitch, fuck you. I don't trust you. And you're not going to sit here and talk to me crazy. You're not. And Kenya pulled back and left it alone. They squashed it. They went on to the brunch or whatever. And they pretty much, Cynthia and Portia went to the side and they talked and they squashed it. The two of them are punks and they really wanted to be friends with each other. So they squashed it and hugged it out and it was over. Whatever. No real big deal. In the meantime, while they were doing all that, that damn Candy was eating. I tell you, that eating on TV, I just can't take it. They always out of function. The only motherfucker you see stuff in their mouth is that damn Candy. She was steadily eating. But yeah, they it's just kind of boring, and they pulled it together. Kenya was going on, still she out there building a case that it was kind of Portia's fault, and Candy told her, she said, you know, you sure do have a real talent for pointing out what other people did wrong, Kenya, but you don't never point out what you do. And Kenya was looking at Candy like, okay, bitch, now don't play, I'll kick you in your stomach. So that was like funny, but I was glad to see her call Kenya on her shit, because Kenya do that. Kenya does not like Portia. She don't like her, and she don't like Phaedra, and she, puts on that face. But that's what the show's built on. Shady bitches being shady, throwing a little shade here and there. I couldn't be so bothered, because just hanging around a bunch of bitches that you don't like, they would be in the midst of some of that shady shit they be doing. I've been to smack the good holy shit out of them. But anyway, what I was saying, I was so tell you about Kim. When they first all got to the table and they first were sitting down, who in the fuck told Tootie that she gonna be the ambassador? She turned just as messy. I said, see, y'all been running around thinking, feeling sorry for Kim Fields. Kim Fields full of shit too. She went right in, and so there's an elephant in the room. And it's that, honey, you didn't get this brunch, and why is you orchestrating the fix? Shut up, Tootie, bitch. I said, I seen that. There's a little mess with her too. She messy too. Just a mess. But that was basically it. There was nothing real big that actually went on. And I think they're going to get back on track next week. They'll have something else going on. And the one last thing, Kenya's dress was fucked up. It looked very whorish. Very harsh. It looked like something that Kim Zolciak would have wore. It was too short, and it needed pants. Like if she'd have put that same dress on with a pair of jeans, it'd have been cool. But as a dress, she just looked like a whore. I didn't like that at all. But it would have been cute with a pair of jeans or something. But as a dress, that was too short. Too short. Wasn't doing much. But yeah, just a little bit much. Anyway, that was basically it. It wasn't all that exciting of an episode. It really, really wasn't. The two of them didn't really want to fight, all like that anyway, and they didn't want to really be at odds with each other. That's why they just made up just like that. They was both glad to make up. Fuckers. Anyway, thumbs up, thumbs down. Y'all know how that works. I'll get back with y'all next week with this bullshit. All right, bye.